Hello and welcome back for 86, episode 3. Bit of a longer intro than normal for this time, so if you want to go ahead and skip ahead, I don't blame you. I understand, I do that sometimes too. But I have a little bit of cleanup to do. Well, cleanup and some comment spotlights to give, because I've had some very nice comments coming from you guys in the 86 community, so nice. So I don't know the perfect way that I want to go about going through this. I'm just going to talk as I please, and I'll leave it to editing me to find out a way to make this coherent. So first, let me talk about what I've learned over the last week about the series. Mostly nothing too bad. It's just that I've had some misconceptions that I want to clear up so that we have as close to a similar, or you can understand my perspective and where I come from as I interact with this series. So first off, when I got into the series, when I decided I was going to do 86, I looked at the My Anime List page with a very anti-spoilery gaze. I say glaze because I glazed over it. I literally saw 86 anime, this many episodes, this score. I didn't pay attention to what it was adapted from specifically, and because of that, I thought this was from a manga this whole time. However, what I've come to find out is this is actually from a light novel. Now, that doesn't change a lot, but it actually does change how we have to interact with information that we get from the series. And it's not major, but when you're doing something like when I'm trying to deep analyze into a series like this, it does make a difference. So when you have a manga, right? You have adaptation, or really when you have any series that is being adapted from one medium to another, right? Manga to an anime, a book to a TV show, a comic to a TV show, a comic to a movie. You have adaptation and you have translation. These are probably not the actual words that you want to use for this. I'm sure that's already a term, but I'm just saying whatever makes sense in my brain. You have translation, which is to take exactly what's happening on a page, in a panel, in a paragraph, and you just directly make it appear on whatever the new medium is. You take the exact dialogue and put it in Harry Potter, in a scene in Harry Potter. You take the exact paneling, the exact pose, the exact lighting from a manga panel, and you put it onto an anime, right? But you can't do that for a full series, because then how does that work? The way that a book is written, the perspective, the expectation of how information is given to you is so different from pretty much any visual medium. Same way that in anime, what you're expected, the exaggeration that has to go into the movement, the expression, the score that's in the background, and how you expect to have your characters interact with that, or have a scene interact with that, not your characters, is completely different from an anime to a movie. You have to adapt it so that it fits into the new thing. With 86, what we're running into is there's a lot of information in this sci-fi world that we're being introduced to, but we're in an anime now. In the book, probably we have a long going on and on, a paragraph or two of a character thinking about, oh yeah, this is what they're talking about, or this is how my world works, because from my understanding, the books take place primarily from the perspective of Alina and Shanae, or Shin. Is it Shanae? Wait, am I losing my mind? Shin. Apologies if there's a lot of cuts in this episode. I'm dying from allergies right now. I think it's allergies, I don't know. In any case, basically what I'm trying to say is, because we're looking at a thing that comes from a light novel, we kind of have to expect some growing pains from a scene or two. And if you guys want to tell me a lot of what goes on in the light novel that I miss, please go ahead and inform me. Because some of what I want to clean up is that straight up I may have accidentally glazed past a comment that told me about some background information that I don't think is very big of a spoiler, if it can be considered a spoiler at all. But I'd like to get the full picture. Also, if at any point whenever I pass the first volume of this novel, go ahead and tell me, because I might want to go ahead and take a look at that. I don't know. Now, I also want to just go over one thing I learned from the comment section of another reaction that I watched maybe I have to put like more than a 1 episode buffer just to make sure that I don't get a spoiler. Was that the flying? I'm gonna try to pronounce this, and I do know that there's at least one German man who watches these videos. So the Eins Frilge. I'm saying it like how the Japanese dub is saying it. So it's absolutely entirely wrong. But you know, I'm trying. Despite English being a Germanic language, I believe I can't pronounce any German words. I'm very bad at it. Anyway, the flying machines that jam signals and also tell you where reveal your location if you do take in a signal. Because of them, the pararaid system was created. Now, I don't remember if we ever went over exactly what the pararaid system is, like how it works, but apparently its primary use is to communicate with frontline soldiers without having the flying bugs reveal your location. Interesting. Not super important, but I just wanted to be 100% clear with you guys about what I do and do not know about the series. Second thing I wanted to talk about was in the last episode, yes, I did hear Shen hearing all the hearing a little bit of feedback every so often. Weirdly enough, I did in the episode hear that, and I guess I just never wanted to talk about it, or I think things were just happening so fast that I just never took a moment to go, oh yeah, by the way, I heard that. I wonder if that's the sounds of previous people. And like I put in the insert in the last episode, I did find out that one of the lines was changed or was incorrect in my subs. But yes, I heard the feedback noises. I'm going to assume along with that one line, there might be something with this parade system that is unintended and is letting Shen maybe carry consciousnesses with him. Consciousnesses with him? Oh my god. Man, I should have paid attention to English class. Which is interesting. It actually makes me think of a technology from Doctor Who, for whoever remembers the good seasons of Doctor Who back in the day. Actually, I heard that some of the newer seasons were alright, in which there was a type of, and I can't remember what the end story reason was for these, but there was a type of device that I can't remember what it was supposed to be used for, but it kept had your consciousness in it, and it was on your spacesuit. And if you died, it would have like a feedback loop of your last thoughts, and your consciousness would technically be inside of it until it ran out of batteries. Ugh. So if we're dealing with something like that, interesting. Don't know how to interact with that. Interested when we get to it. All right, so that's most of the cleanup that I wanted to do. So I'm going to go ahead and give these comment spotlights, because you guys are the reason why I'm going to be putting this episode out a little bit early this week. Hopefully on this Tuesday, if everything works out. If not, I'll put it up the same day as Haikyuu. So I'll start with technically Tunnel Rat, who is my first commentator. Sir, in the first episode, he informed me that this was going to be a very visual series, which really helped me out in episode 2, and also it was pretty sick. However, in the second episode, he also called out that the Presidential Order 6609 was a callback to the Presidential Order of 1942, which, if you don't know, for my non-American audience, it was basically a bill that, a presidential order that made it so that anyone who had Japanese heritage, I don't know if it was like straight up generations down. I know it was at least one generation down, at least. Or if you were a Japanese immigrant, you were put in these internment camps, which were basically old stadiums, concert halls, wherever they could shove a bunch of people in. And basically they took people out of their houses, their homes, their apartments, their businesses, wherever, and they forced them to live for, I believe it might have been like more than, I don't remember how long it was actually. I believe it was more than a year, in these terrible living conditions, basically. Also that there would be no Japanese spies around, which was beyond fucked up. And I actually distinctly, it's funny because they use the word internment, and whenever I hear internment, I do absolutely think of that. But conveniently in this series, and I do remember like I had to read some old like autobiography or something on that before. But the convenient thing, or not the convenient thing, but the funny thing about that is that in a way, in 86, it's kind of the opposite, where in there we're putting people inside of these smaller zones to monitor them and whatever the heck else that was supposed to be for. And here they kicked them out. They said, hey, we're staying in here, you, good luck to you. So very fun callback. And once again, thank you, Tunnel Rat, because you are my first commenter, and that really helps me get the motivation to continue doing this. Next, I'm actually going to leave 86 and Company for last, because 86 Company is the GOAT right now. But we have, and this is going to be, sorry if I butchered this name, Torsten Fichtner, who links me to a wiki article on the term 86. So, funny thing on that, I am from like the 2000s and from dumb war military jargon TV shows and cartoons. So I have heard the word 86 before, but I wasn't thinking of it with this Japanese anime at the time. But yeah, another convenient little fun piece of I guess invoking imagery, or just a little funny as Easter egg of 86 being a unwanted extra thing that we toss out. Also used in supermarkets and whatnot, which is interesting because I used to work there for a long time. So yeah, thank you for the comment. Once again, sick comment. Now, finally, we have 86 and Company. Now, two things, 86, well, a lot of things 86 Company gave me. First off, thank you for that comment. You're especially on my first episode where you really, really helped me out with describing my commentary as being something of value here. Thank you. That was very sweet. Like, seriously. Love. Secondly, he hooked me up with the good subs. Them influencer subs. Basically some corrected subs that have, he's linked me to a Google Doc that has corrected subs that take from the light novel and have a little bit better consistency there. Correct some things that will be important lines. Shouldn't affect us till episode 6, but thank you very much. I'm definitely going to use those. Also, they let me know about the main music person behind this, I guess we call it composer, behind this anime, which is Hiroyuki Sawanoe. Now, I'm not great with paying attention to production names. I'm not exactly the person, sorry, I had to make sure my recording was going well. I'm not exactly the person that remembers a lot of names for people in the background. It's something that I'm working on, something that I'm getting better at, especially since I started watching TV. I decided to start paying attention to stuff like that. But Hiroyuki Sawanoe is also known as the person who did Attack on Titan, also Kill la Kill, also what's that other one that I just looked up? Oh boy, oh yeah, my anime list is down at the time of recording this, so that's not gonna help me out. But Attack on Titan and Kill la Kill, which immediately is like, oh, okay, that explains everything about that music section that was in the last episode. Okay, gotcha. Sick, awesome, looking forward to more. Also, once again, thank you for those comments. All right, so I think I don't have any more preamble, so let's go ahead and get started with episode 3. I don't think we have much that we can talk about going into the next episode, and I don't really think that recaps are like super necessary, so blink. Krish Blut. Ooh, character episode, maybe? I don't know. That or we're gonna at least deal with you for this episode. It's a giant board, dude. Also, Haruto is Narancia. Got it. You know what's funny? I still have not confirmed that that's Narancia. I'm 89% sure that that's Narancia. In fact, I'm 95% sure that's Narancia. Yamashita Daiki.
そういやちょっと時間かかりすぎかも。つまり水浴び。ただいま河原は
What? We have pervy time? Let's go. You know what? I don't know if you're an asshole for bringing that up. I don't know if you're an asshole for bringing that up in this kind of situation. I just don't. Wow. Yo, we're hyper goober over here. I guess I'm 3 episodes in. I always have to remember that I'm not binging this, so I'm only 3 episodes in. But I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna do the salute, the T-Boo salute, but I'm gonna think about it. God, how fast is that character gonna die? That's all I can think of, but I don't know. Alright, this reads. You know what? I'm not gonna say that. Oh no! Don't mention yobai. Don't mention night creeping here, or night crawling. Crawling? Creep. Kurena. All right. I'm gonna go. Jeez, hold on. I was gonna make a jokes, but guys, I'm sorry. The heavy breathing just blew out what I was gonna say. I was gonna wait for Kurena to show up on a plaque, but like her name to show up on a plaque. But like, okay. What do we do? Also, nice. My kind of ladies. Immediate blick. So look, okay, just stone him to death. You're right. Bullets are too loud. Oh my god. Don't send him to die! Help! Help me! Rat him out. It's okay, it's free. Oh my god. See, that's what I'm talking about. Also, that was sick. Ace. Curveball. Okay, that struck a special place in my heart only because I'm a big fan of Way of the Samurai 4, and that's a system, and that's where I found out about what yobai is. Oh, by the way, I read a bunch of comments that were about she always turns off her power ray like immediately, and I have seen that in the previous videos and other reaction videos that I watched. So it's because of that. Got it. Interesting. We have a little bit of mercy towards them. At least we won't just immediately do whatever we're doing to our handlers. So they are giving her the time of day a little bit. Okay, see? She does. And it's that subtle every time. They put it in the middle of the frame, but it's just every time she does it. Did you say something edgy? Okay. Idiot. Balls out. Spaghetti falling out of the pockets. Yeah, that's right. It'd be hard. It's in the city. I was very direct to ask. Oh, so there are camps. I mean, of course there would be. Yeah. There would be places where you're supposed to gather around. Okay. I don't know what else I would think. Yeah, of course. So we're a hodgepodge. So there's a hodgepodge of people who live in hodgepodge of people who are 86. It's not just fantasy Japan or sci-fi Japan, of course. And also Alba. So I guess Alba is the name of the actual Republican race. That's hilarious. Really? I want you poster? Let's go. Why not? Put it all in there. Every single military propaganda. Oh, looking forward to the episode where we betray that. I thought that was my cat. That was mixed so weird. Oh, it's because it was going through the parade. That was so odd. Okay. That's how they be, man. Trust me. Don't give them love and they'll love you. Give them lots of love and where's my cat right now? Being a jerk somewhere. Oh, it's from the parade. The parade is mixed so weird. It scares the crap out of me. It comes from like back here in my headphones. It's really cool, but it's really abrasive. Okay, so we're showing she talks all night by having the camera kind of blip around. Maybe you're cutting time off of a, what you call it? Out of a recording. Like when I blip around on here. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. We took some leaps from where I thought we would go to from that. Wait, don't call versions not bad people. Like, not that they're not. I'm just saying it's not necessarily indicative. Both of these I agree with. Okay, so that's our reaction. Too nice. Poor her. Wasn't there a line in last episode where someone said, like, poor her because of how nice she was? Interesting. We're going to do it with tactics? I mean, we're going to do it from the tactician's point of view, because that's kind of sick. By the way, I'm a big fan of Legend of Galactic Heroes, so I'll watch points on a map move for like 10 minutes at a time. I don't care. Yeah, that's about right. It's just, okay, cool. It's not important right now, and I get it, but that doesn't mean much from one person. Interesting. So that's what we were doing it for. Straight up death beyond death from the other screen. Did we even see that character again for the rest of the episode? As soon as we were in, oh, I want to know if that's from the novel. Please tell me if that's exactly from the novel, that we're in Lena's point of view. We have all this characterization and build up. I should have known. I wanted to say, like, man, this feels like an episode where somebody's gonna die. And I said it for Corinna. I think it was the black hair girl who just I'm knocking shit over on my desk. I said shit. Damn it. I lost my monetization. Sorry. Child friendly. I think I think we haven't seen, I think it's that black haired girl, right? Okay, let's pay attention to this part. Ah, it snuck it on me because it made a really cool choice while also doing that. Ah, damn it. Caught me lacking. It's too late. It's been hot all day, so I had to wait really late to record this. And by that, I mean late afternoon. This is Blonde? I believe this is Blonde, the artist. Thick lines, huh? Or I guess that would be a shadow. Now we're letting him he's just gonna let him go off? True. No, that's not gone. Who's that? That's somebody. Sorry, distracted by I know who that voice actor is, but also, damn. And nobody. Interesting thing there. Nobody said, "Hey, it's all good. Calm down." Speak it. Damn. Okay. That was an aggressively, man. That was a, to borrow from a Japanese slang term, that was a freaking right straight. Isn't it weird that English word, a right straight, is a Japanese slang? That was a right straight of an episode. Like it didn't even hide it. I was like, okay, so we're gonna make this into we're gonna take our time. But there's 11 episodes in every season. Of course, we don't got the time to do this. We got a snappy. All right, this is the episode where, what a cool decision. I'll talk about this in a minute. I'll be back. What a cool decision. Hold on, I don't even want to leave. I'm sorry. We're gonna look at this. I don't even want to leave. By the way, I may be super loud. I'm like in a situation where I'm able to be super loud today, so I'm being a little bit more loud than what you call it. Give me just 1 second. Yep. And she was the focus of this episode, of course. Surprised about rats, because of course I live in perfect society. Yes, okay, it is her. Got it. Okay, so she was the focus of the everything that every scene in the episode involved her directly. Of course, I should have felt that. Should have smelt it. I was like, nah, we got time. Oh wait, it's an 11 episode core times 2, idiot. Duh. Of course we don't have time. That's smart. I like it. I wonder how much this is gonna be. Either this is a really, really fast moving light novel, or we're going faster than the 4 episode per volume pace that a normal light novel show would go at. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I just don't know the mood. And when I think about it, a lot of these, you know what? When I think about it, a lot of these episodes have been like a lot of anime fluffing is the word I want to use, but like fluff in order to exposit, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it would make sense that. So this is like immediate then. This would have to be immediate. I'm spending too much time thinking about how this is adapted from a light novel. I'm gonna just move on. Okay. Lost Creature Brute. I'm thinking if I want to do what I did last week and just go through the episode and talk about it as I go through, which I'm definitely going to do actually. But I'm gonna give myself 1 second for break. All right. See you in a second. We'll go into this episode in a second. We see it. Hold on, wait. No, sorry. I can't leave yet. Hold on. I just want to make sure from 12 minutes in, from the moment that we see I Don't Want to Die, whole rest of the episode, we don't see her once. Oh man, she's so with us. Yeah, you see, I'm one of y'all too. Haha, I'm hanging out. And I don't even remember if I said it in the reaction, but around when she was when we were at this scene with her talking to all of them in her room, I was like, when is the point where how many episodes until we have the major, what, you thought you were one of us? No. We reject you wholeheartedly. Oh, you think because you're nice? You think because you're the one who's gonna stand up for us, is gonna treat us right? That makes you what, better, more likable than the other ones? No. You live in your high tower while we live down here. It's fundamental. That's uncontrollable. There's no jokes. There's no funny business. We die out here. Fundamentally. How are we going to get together like that? How can I see eye to eye with you all the way back in your high tower, safe and happy, air conditioned, no rats? How could I look at you and not hate you? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a minute. I need to take a minute. I need to. So I can get my discussion together so it doesn't take 45 minutes. All right, be right back. All right, so it took a minute because I wanted to gather all my thoughts on this episode. So So first and foremost, this episode had a ton, like an absolute ton of names and like not titles, but I'm pretty sure we got like the race or the name of the race of people who have white hair and white eyes in this episode. However, be honest with you, I missed them. Doesn't matter. I will catch them before we get to the next episode. Trust me. What I want to focus on in this episode, and what I think is the main thing that I want to laser focus on in this episode, is that character death. And I think maybe my excitement for it comes through differently than I want it to be. It's not differently than I want it. It comes through, I think my excitement for it comes through in a way that is overly praising the death. That's not what has me really excited about that. What has me really excited about that character, death, right, is what it means. How can I explain this? What it means to Lena, right? It's not that that character death was particularly unique or was spectacularly well done in a way of showing a character death. It is very well done it is very sharp, right? It's sharp and it's pinpoint and it's directly at everything that fundamentally makes up Lena as our main, our secondary protagonist, or as our dual protagonist. Sorry, I mixed those terms up really hard there. She's so based on this view of, if I give them respect, if I treat them like people, if I try to be decent to them, try to be nice to them, try to care about their lives, aren't I being better than everybody else who treats them poorly? And I'm not saying that like she's trying to have, a feeling of superiority over them for this, right? But she does it fundamentally. And this is a view on how you view kindness, but she fundamentally does it in the way that I feel our 86 crew, our spearhead company, at least Theo and some of the others view it, is in this it makes me feel good way. Not that I want to make any actual change. It just makes me feel good to treat you like this. But I'm getting conceptual. I want to focus this on what did happen and this narrative, like what makes the choices that we made in this episode and what makes this episode so effective, and what makes the choices that we made so impactful, right? So, and I can't remember, there's sometimes where in a reaction I want to say something, but I'm also like, amongst my priorities in a reaction, number one is I want to catch as much information as I can, and inevitably if something is one line, I'm going to miss a thing, right? So like there's a bunch of names that dropped in this episode. There's the name of they kept talking about the Alds, right? And it was a shortening of another word that they used. Those were like one line. I missed them. I'm gonna catch them before I start the next episode. Trust me, it's not gonna be a big problem. There was a point in this episode, right, where I think it was how idyllic and happy the scene of Spearhead Company just, and they're humoring her. They're not really being nice to her. They're humoring her because they see that she doesn't have messed up intentions. Okay, we'll talk to her, I guess, because it's got to happen. Whatever. At least don't be a jerk to her. She's trying, And throughout this whole scene, right, everybody's talking to her. Everybody's being nice to her. And I think what really did it was the scene of Karina, to put my pronunciation on, talking with blonde guy here. I don't know if they said his name. Like I said, I missed a bunch of names in this episode. which they aggressively pushed. We'll talk about this. I just spent like an hour making sure that I could stay focused during this. This scene of trying to be nice to her, like she's being nice. Let's not be jerks to her. And at that point, I was at like, this is too nice. We're gonna have to inevitably, no matter what, whether this was a nice scene or not, we were gonna have our crew. And I say our crew, but all of it is our crew. We're gonna have our 86 crew, our spearhead company, fundamentally oppose Lena. We're gonna have them rebel, go against. I'm trying to find the exact correct word for what I mean. They're gonna have to go their separate ways. They're gonna have to clash. They're gonna have to clash at some point, right? And I felt like it was going to happen very, very soon, and it had to happen very, very rough, because we're trying to be. She's getting too much of her way in the way that they're like trying to humor her and trying to continue on, despite their harsh feelings towards her, right? Even though they fundamentally can't separate the Shirobuta ness of her away. They still were trying to be decent human beings to her, right? In the same way that she's trying to be a decent human being to them. So that's part of our setup, right, for the conclusion of this episode. As let me see, how long did this go on? This was like the entire middle. Like, we don't get to the war scene until, so that's about 10 minutes. So that's the lion's majority of this episode. Let's see. Let me see how long the finding the map sequence is. It's 2 minutes, about 2 minutes and a half. The lion's majority of this episode is entirely focused on Lena talking and having this halfway forced, I mean, it's fundamentally forced relationship with Spearhead Company, right? And that's like phase one of how we set ourselves up for this me straight, right? This boom, pinpoint, right to the button punch of a scene, of a narrative point, right? Secondly, and this happens beforehand, but I think that it's like, this is seasoning. This is the meat. This is the seasoning. Like I said, there's a bunch of names and a bunch of terms that have come up in this episode, but they come up rapidly. They're coming up like, we've had little breadcrumbs of things all throughout the past 2 episodes. And in this episode, they decided, hey, let's go down the whole cast list. We got, I have some of them written now. We got Theo, Haruto, Kreia, who is the, Kaie, Kurena, and I think we said some more names that I don't have off the top of my head, and we're aggressively saying them. People don't say them once or twice. Especially Kaie is said 1,000 times throughout this episode. Kurena is said 1,000 times through this episode. So we have 4 scenes, right, in this episode. If you the important meat of the episode scenes, we have 4 of them. We have the bath scene. We have talking with Lena from Spearhead's perspective. We have talking with Lena from talking with Spearhead from Lena's perspective. And then we have the final battle scene at the end of this episode. In every one of those scenes, maybe not so much in the battle scene, but in every one of those scenes, Kaie is not the focus in terms of like the character or whatever, right? She's not necessarily straight dead center in the middle of our eyes throughout those scenes, but in every one of the scenes, she is important. She is somewhat, don't want to say the heart of the scene. She's the spine of the scene. She's important in every single one of them. In the bath scene, she's the one who finally calls Corinna on her bullcrap, right? She checks her. She says, oh, well, maybe I'll walk over there. I'll get some of that shin. And we establish her as like this big sister type. And during the talk with Lena, she's the one who's bringing up the meteor shower. She's the one who shares her perspective and her experience a little bit with Lena. In the talk, let me just make sure. I feel like I don't. Hold on. It's been 1 second. Yes, she's the one who tells her, you're not cut out for this. Not focused on her, but she's pivotal. She's the spine. She's the backbone that we're laying on for the scene. The person who drives it forward, who says all the important stuff of the scene. So in the third scene, she's the one who talks with her about being not cut out for this. She's supporting, but she's not the focus of the scene. And that's a really good way of throwing me off from thinking that she was going to die. I was distracted by Corinna more than anything in the first scene. In the second scene, I was still distracted by Corinna in the second scene. And then we get to Lena's scene. Because she's not front and center, I'm thinking of Lena. And maybe that's me leaving myself open for it. Just because I'm so distracted by trying to catch every piece of information. Maybe I could have felt that a little bit earlier, but that's how you build up to a good character death, right? Don't have them be the focus, but have them sprinkled throughout, have them go throughout the entire episode. And then finally we get to her actual death. How do we show it? First off, this whole battle scene, we show it from Lena's perspective, right? And I think it happened in the last episode. In the last episode, we had something similar to this where we showed the battle scene from Lena's perspective. I was like, oh, what are we going to learn here? The answer was nothing, unfortunately. I don't even know. Was there anything in that scene other than just showing it how she was a little bit happy with herself? Or no, yeah, it was just to show that she was a little happy with herself for talking with Undertaker. See, that's part of why I was like, yeah, she needed to get just checked a little bit. Just a little body check. Just a little, right to it. That was stupid. Why did I do that? Cringe. Right. We get to the scene. And this is what I'm talking about when I say translation to adaptation. If you were making this scene, right? Or if you compare this scene to other scenes, because it's not, I keep trying to say, this isn't a particularly, like, a specifically unique death scene. But there's some unique things that go on here, and there's some fun things that go on here that make it really, really targeted, right? Towards Lena and her attitude. Any other time you see a scene like this, where we're showing your decisions have consequences, you are killing these people, even though you're back here, and you're just, let me get this blueness out of my eyes so that you can. All right. Any other time you're showing the scene, you're showing perspective of triangles on digital board, right? And then you show shot of people on the ground, bullets flying, running mechs, soldiers on the ground, because you need to show the perspective of them, right? It's a total battlefield. We're cutting around so we can show what's going on, the action that's going on. And also because anime fundamentally wants to engage you. You don't want to look at a screen going zzz, zzz. You don't want to watch these LED screens, triangles on an LED screen, freaking traveling around. That's not visually interesting. But that's what we do here. We just show names on a board, triangles on a screen. She goes to point, last enemy. She falls in, and I'm gonna put my headphones on for this because I want to see it one more time. We don't even get, like, for the sake of us, we don't even get like a sound of like falling into mud, sound of mech falling over, stuck in water, can't move. Ah, shit. I wanted to die. How do we deliver I don't want to die? Your Discord icon jumping up and down like it's a VTuber collab. That's how we did it. It's effective. And then we have who I believe is Theo. I'm 99% sure that's Theo. Please help me out. I'm 99% sure that's Theo. In fact, there's nobody's voice who's close to that. That's definitely Theo. Oh yeah, I was supposed to look up. I just want to look up real quick. It really distracted me in that scene just a little bit that I totally know who Theo's voice actor is. I'm gonna. Yes, there it is. Okay, Fujiwara Natsumi. All right, so she's Abigail Jones. I guess Great Pretender would be recent enough for me to have seen it. That makes sense. That I caught it so hard. Abigail does talk a little bit. I don't know. I might check Great Pretender one more time just to make sure that's what we're saying. But that's not important. I was sorry for that aside. So Theo lays into her, right? And all this build up, right? All this, the fact that we've gotten names throughout the whole episode. We've gotten scenes of showing how important Kaye is to our squad. We get scenes showing that the squad's trying to humor this lady. We're trying to be nice to her because even though I'm sure that's not the usual relationship they would have. I mean, of course it's not the usual relationship. Usual relationships don't even last for a week that they try to be nice to us, right? That's what they said. Us, the audience, even have been forced to watch this from the other side of the screen. We are now together with Lena. We see that invisible barrier, right, that exists naturally, not naturally, but unnaturally, by choice of our nation, between Lena, those who live inside 85 wards, and our squad, Spearhead, those who live outside the 86, right? You don't say it, right? You don't call us 86. But if you treat us like it, if you still use us, I mean, thing has 4 legs, meows, has whiskers. You don't have the word to call it a cat, but what is it? Still just a cat, right? Anyway, so after all that, we lay into her, right? Boom. Big, full-on dress down, right? And no one stops Theo, right? Whole scene, right? We're all hearing this. This is the parade is for everybody. No one stops him. Because that's how we're all feeling right now. Lays fully in, camera dead on to Lena. I thought that she had an extra outline, but I think that's supposed to be a shadow. But full dress down. Damn. And boom. I'm sorry. I'm I got caught into it again. I'm supposed to be pausing and making and discussing and making analysis about this, but boom, right straight to my chin. I got whole combo goes on. You don't call us 86. You still think you treat us like it. Boom, 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 boom. You think that we're not human, huh? You think we don't mourn people? You think we have time for you to act like a princess? Oh man, my own. I'm sorry. I'm nice. No, got no time for that. And then finally, boom. You never even asked us our real names. You don't even know our names. You're trying to talk like you're somebody who treats us like human beings. Yeah, sure. Boom. Damn. It's so good. We build Lena in such a way, right? And we have her be so likable to us and to be so perfect and idyllic as a person, right? And we build up this whole tower of cards that is her. And then we aggressively, on every level, every floor by floor, take a hammer to every loose foundation, every loose support beam, and crumble her. So now what do we go into? Does she try to, so the next title is real names, a real name. Do we try to, oh no, I'll be good now. I'll ask you now that someone said, hey, you didn't even do this. Oh no, I can do that. Do you break and just choose not to continue? Do you try to find common ground? Do you mourn with them? We don't mourn. We don't have time to mourn. Mourning is something that people who have the time to do that have. We take our moment and we move on because it's the only thing we can do. So even that would be wrong. It's fun character stuff. It's fun character stuff, man. It was really well done. I think I'm rambling on a little bit more, a little bit too much. And I don't know how much of that I'm gonna have to cut. So I'm gonna stop it here. A very, very fun reaction. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. So wow, you know what? I noticed I don't even do my call to actions anymore. Yeah, whatever. I'm putting this videos out. It's all good. So hey, you like what you've seen? You stuck with me this far? Hey, go ahead and hit that like button. Please leave me a comment. Put your own 2 cents into it. Tell me what's going on in the light novel. Tell me when I'm gonna go past a volume of the light novel, because I don't even want to read like a full volume. I just want to read I want to know what perspective I'm supposed to be, the story is from his thing, and its original medium. Because like Shield Hero, right? I'm a big fan of like Shield Hero, Mushoku Tensei, and they have like their animes are very different, and where Shield Hero didn't get the adaptation it needed for the inability to translate 500 pages of just how that shield works and fun like town building and fun stuff, and then Mushoku Tensei just adapted the shit out of that story while still removing huge portions of characterization, I think, of Rudius and whatnot. They get to continue on. So yeah, I would like to take a look at this and just kind of find out how they're doing it and what they're changing. Yeah, this will be it for me though. Leave me a comment about that. I am all over the place right now. I'm sorry about that. And yeah, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you've gone through this discussion, come on, man. All right, that's gonna be it for me. Or come on, person. I'm sorry. But that's gonna be it for me. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, have a beautiful day.